Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Casual Sports Talk Podcast, NFL Conference Championship Edition. And now we got a gentleman right over here who wishes he could have that much pain and suffering just like the Bills. Here's Douglas.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it does stink, Stu. I was surprised they fired their coach, but it does stink. But, I mean, I don't know. I think just completely missing the playoffs hurts a little bit more when you think you have a Super Bowl caliber team. So, I don't think we need to aspire for more pain than we have right now, Stu.
It's pain. That is pain. That is pain and suffering right now. And now we got a gentleman right over here who also wishes the Browns could have the same pain and suffering just like the Bills. Here's Chris.
Yeah, I mean, if it took the Browns going to the playoffs and then us enduring the pain and suffering, I'd be okay with that. Like, I mean, the Browns, this is a different conversation, but if we can get Mike Tomlin as our head coach from the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'd be cool with that. I'd be cool with going to the playoffs. Even if we lose in the first round for 6 consecutive years, Browns Nation and the Cleveland Browns fan base would be happy.
No, you're going to have a better pain. You're going to get a different Mike McCarthy.
As long as it's not Mike McDaniels, and like I said earlier, he's out of the running for the Browns head coaching spot. So if it's Mike McCarthy, Mike Tomlin, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, I don't care. Browns by 50.
No. You need Kevin Stefanski back. We're going to be out.
Good thing Kevin Stefanski's the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons for at least the next 5 years.
Yeah, that's not going to work. That's going to work out, right?
I mean, I was telling my buddy he easily could win Coach of the Year. You know, he has Bijan Robinson. He has Penix, who's going to be coming back. He has Drake London. He has Kyle Pitts. You know, they could be putting things together in Atlanta, and I might put some money on it for the way too early bet, saying that Coach Kevin Stefanski will be the Coach of the Year next season.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. So, like I said, this week we pretty much got the divisional round right over here. So, gentlemen, what was your thoughts about this football week?
It was overall a fun week, I thought. I enjoyed it. I mean, I kind of felt like the Niners were going to get blown out, so no real surprise there. We're surprised once again by the Bears' resilience and, ability to keep things close. So, like, that bodes well for their future. If Mr. Williams doesn't throw that late pick, we might be talking about the Bears in the conference championship. But fun weekend.
Yeah, that stinks right there. I mean, it sucks right over there. So we'll see how that goes. But we got some sad news. We got 4 eulogies this week. It's a sad day. We got to salute the 4 teams that are not good enough to make it to a conference championship. And there's a pain and suffering that always happens. The Buffalo Bills have been eliminated from the conference championship. It was not. It is interesting. I literally. So in the preview for the Buffalo Bills, basically, we basically had the take of Chris was very optimistic, said that this team could make it to the Super Bowl. He thought that this team could be a true contender for the NFC. For his perspective, they have a talent, they have a quarterback, true experience. They can break through. And he gave, I believe, a 13-4, and he gave the Bills 7. Actually, an 8. I was very pessimistic. I literally said 12-5. I was saying that, they're going to miss the playoffs. I don't see this team going to win a Super Bowl. I literally correctly said it. They're going to have an embarrassing, sad failure in the postseason.
Well, you just said they're going to miss the playoffs at 12-5.
I said make the playoffs, but they're going to have an embarrassing failure in the postseason. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't call it an embarrassing failure. So.
But it's still a failure. I said everything correctly except just the Chiefs. It is literally word for word. I even gave them a 12-5, and I said they were going to win a playoff game and then lose in a horrible fashion.
Yeah.
And then that is the Bills for you. That was not that surprising. And then Douglas, Seymour Muse, seeing this is a very good team, a competitive team that can win games. Bills out of the playoffs. I mean, once they make it in. And he's not convinced that this is the best team in the conference. I believe that team a 7 also. But here's the reality. I literally had this correct. It was so when I was listening to this. I was like, what? I literally said everything, just get rid of the Chiefs and then just say Broncos?
Indeed.
Stradamus was right. I was like, what? I mean, they did good in the regular season. They did not win the conference, but they did good. They made it to the playoffs, and then they just lost in overtime.
Well, I mean, they need to get this man a receiver. Like, they need to get Josh Allen. I mean, it's nice to have all the tight ends, and James Cook is wonderful. But, I mean, it's like Josh Allen can only do so much. I mean, he's amazing, but, like, man, oh, man, get that man a wide receiver one. Like, you need to be able to spread the field a little bit more, and, like, they're so close. And, I mean, I do understand the decision to change the coach personally.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. That is the crazy part. So, like I said, we have now had 10 coaches now fired. Almost 1/3 of the NFL coaches have been replaced or fired right now. And Mike McDaniel got fired after 9 years in the NFL right now. Gentlemen, what is your thoughts about Mr. McDaniel? We got to do a double I didn't think we're going to do a double eulogy this week.
Are you talking about the Bills coach right now?
Yeah, why are we talking about Mike McDaniel?
Oh, sorry, Michael. Sorry,
Mike McDermott.
Sean McDermott.
Sorry, McDermott. Sorry.
Neither the first or the last name.
Hey, we're casual sports talk podcast.
But I know the coach. He was there for 9 years and he got terminated this week.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I mean, how many years has it been in a row where the Bills make the playoffs? They win the first round and they don't make it, to the AFC Championship game.
I would say
I think it's 6 in a row, from what I saw online the other day. So yeah, it's kind of like a Mike Tomlin type thing. If you're making it to the playoffs, but you're not really going to where you want to go, whether obviously Super Bowl is the main goal in every season for every team, for the most part. So Mike Tomlin, Sean McDermott. They're making the playoffs, but they're not really doing it to where the ownership wants it to go.
It kind of felt like the like Mike Thibodeau getting fired from the Knicks last year, where it's like it was a little bit surprising, but then you're like, okay, like was he actually going to get them to the NBA Finals like they desired? Was McDermott ever going to get them over the hump? Like, how many chances can he get? It's like you have arguably the best player in the NFL. And you've had numerous opportunities to do this, and you just can't. Like maybe there's anybody else out there that can.
Yeah, I mean it's so frustrating. I feel like if you're this coach, if you're this team and been a fan of this team, and they just cannot get to the hump right now, and it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating because it's like, what are you going to do when you're Josh Allen? Like I said, and also I felt bad. Did you see in the press conference Josh Allen cried after that loss?
Yeah, I mean, this was his chance, man. I mean,
so he was actually crying. I didn't know if that was AI generator, if that was really.
He was legit crying.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he was legitimately. It wasn't bawling his eyes out crying, but it was definitely you're when you're just talking, you kind of have the feels kind of cry, if that kind of makes sense.
I mean, when you're on the doorstep of making the AFC Championship game, you get this game into overtime. You're down by 10 at halftime. Send it into OT. You feel like you're pretty confident going to overtime and winning this game. So yeah, I completely understand the emotion. A little teardrop coming from the eyes.
What do you gentlemen think about the late calls there? Like, were they good calls that kind of put Denver there?
Are you talking about this interception call?
Yeah, the interception.
Yes, I do got that clip right over here of the interception. I just kind of want to see.
That one was big time too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the big turning point right over here. But also, I got to say this. Okay, the interception was bad. Yes. But the defense was fucking atrocious for the Bills. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we're going to show this clip right over here.
They blocked it up perfectly. McMillan does a good job not getting. But we're going to need you on this one, Gene.
Yeah, this is really close. I'm not sure that Cooks has possession coming to the ground there to say that it would be simultaneous. It feels to me like Cooks doesn't have firm possession of the football when they're down by contact there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I was thinking about it later on, and I think this was probably
has it for a moment.
I feel like
the one commentator, yeah, he said perfectly. he doesn't know that Cooks had possession of it and the ball never hit the ground, so it's not an incomplete pass at the moment. So Cooks, without having possession of it, and then the Broncos, with quarterback safety, gets full possession of it. So I agree that it was a interception.
See, yeah. Another clip from another game. I forget which one. I think it might have been the Bears one, but where there was the same situation, but they ended up giving, I think, a Devontae Adams catch. And I think that's what, I don't know if you have that one, but I saw just a quick video of it. It's man, they're both so close. I don't know how one can be ruled a pick and one can be ruled a catch. And granted, it depends on game script, what it was called in the moment, all those things. But it was just kind of man, oh man, it's so close. And I think they made the right call. I think it's about as close as they can get. But that's how close Josh Allen is, It's
and that's an overtime. Honestly,
because that was they would have kicked it for the win, right? They're kicking a field goal to win if he makes that catch.
Yeah. Because the Broncos started out with the ball in overtime and then they punted it away, and then field goal would have won it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Because that's how it works in overtime for the playoffs, right? Each team gets one possession. I don't know if it's different in regular season than playoffs. Each team gets one possession, and then unless they play for the full 10 minutes in playoff scenarios.
I mean, to some extent, the coach getting scapegoated because it's not like they're getting blown out, they're losing in heartbreaking fashion, controversial calls, but when you have a Josh Allen player and you don't want to waste his prime, you got to do something different. You can't just keep running back the same team, same coach and everything and hoping that it's different, because there's a lot of teams getting really good in the AFC. Obviously the Patriots and the Broncos. You have the Jaguars and the Texans coming on strong. You have, the Chiefs potentially back next year. You have Herbert and the, Chargers. So so many teams that's it feels like your window's kind of at its tail end too. If you couldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. How long do you think we have? I think Josh Allen at least has 5-7 years of prime. He's going to be 30.
Let's see. Yeah, he's 29 years of age.
Yeah, he's 30.
He turns 30 in May, or this upcoming May. So 4 months away. Actually, 4 months from tomorrow.
Yeah,
May 21st is his birthday. Happy early birthday, Josh Allen. So what? Quarterbacks can go prime wise till they're 34, 35. So
yeah,
maybe a new coach will be what the Bills need. But hopefully, we've also mentioned not on this podcast, but other podcasts. Joe Burrow is his prime getting wasted? So hopefully Josh Allen. I'm not saying we're wasting Josh Allen's prime is getting wasted because they're making the playoffs. But like I said earlier, the main goal for most teams is winning the Super Bowl. So. Yeah, it's tough to say.
Yeah.
Oh, can you repeat that again?
I can hear you fine.
Sorry, I'm going to pause this.
I think it's on your end still.
All right.
Let's resume again. What were you about to say?
We're talking about Josh Allen. His prime. He has 5 years left because he's 29, will be 30 in May. But we also mentioned Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, however old he is, I think he's 27, 28. But Josh Allen, he's not wasting away because this team's making the playoffs. That's good, but the main goal for most teams is making the Super Bowl. So maybe the new coach will boost the Bills into the Super Bowl category.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I kind of feel like. Hopefully the Bills can make it, but it's just so frustrating if you're a Bills fan. It's been you've been, during the Brady year, you were dog shit for that long. Then you get Josh Allen, generational quarterback right over here, out of North Dakota State. You just close to the door. You're always the bride, but you're never the bride. And then Chiefs are gone, and it's all right, no Chiefs. Now we're going to win. And the Broncos decided, nope. And then also we have a more heartache because now, spoiler alert, we will probably talk about the Broncos. Bo Nix is out for the year, with a broken shoulder.
Ankle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Close enough. We're casual.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the Broncos now, or are we going to go to the next eulogy?
I'm done being bummed out.
All righty, we'll be done. So we gotta say bye-bye to the Bills.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hopefully your new stadium treats you better.
Yeah, hopefully your new stadium.
Yeah, new stadium, new coach, hopefully new Super Bowl experience.
Bills by 50.
Bills by 50 indeed in this one.
Or lose by 3.
Lose by 3 in the playoff.
Yeah, lose by 3 in the playoff. It is an indoor dome, so we'll see. And now we got to talk about the other game right over here. Not really a great game. Honestly, was the clunker of the week. I will probably give that in the score of the most clunkerous game. The Seattle Seahawks beat the San Francisco 49ers 41-6. It was such a bad game. Not a great game at all. Like, even after the end of the second quarter, I was like, okay, this game is pretty much over. To be frank, I barely watched this game, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should watch a little bit of this. And I was like, oh, okay. Not surprised. All right. Change the channel. Like, it was not a great game. But we'll start with the San Francisco 49ers right over here, and we will talk about the preseason thoughts right over here, where we were kind of actually a little bit pessimistic on the 49ers. Like, we very much Chris was actually said, worried that they could have a slow start. Could see them in the first quarter, normal San Francisco 40s, veteran quarterbacks right there. We'll see how Christian McCaffrey does, calm before the storm. Talent coaches could do it. And you thought you were a little bit more like on the optimistic side, and you gave the 49ers a 5 in the preseason. We actually all gave them 5. I was a little bit more like, they got a soft schedule. Can they do it? All right, can they wake up and do this? I wouldn't declare panic, but I wasn't like excusing, but I wasn't like, oh, you thought that. And also I did feel like, for me, for the San Francisco 49ers, that I did talk about Brock Purdy getting the $50 million contract. I also talked about, like, are they going to be in this like Kaepernick, Garoppolo years where it's just like, they get one good year, make it to the Super Bowl and lose. Stuck with the sins, the bad contracts moving forward. I gave him 4. And Douglas actually gave him a 5. I was more skeptical. Thought the window was closing. Even with a weak-ass schedule. That schedule was very easy for the San Francisco 49ers. Probably not in hindsight, to be honest with you, because they did have to play against a couple of good opponents. Team didn't feel like it was getting better year after year, even with the very good schedule. And you actually gave him a 5. And Chris was more optimistic. You gave him a 6. And the records, I should say, gentlemen, we gave them, the San Francisco 49ers. I gave them 7-10. Christopher was 10-7, and they were 9, and Douglas gave a 9-8. So interestingly enough, they were 14-3, 12-5 in reality. They did win a playoff game. They probably did exceed our expectations right over there, but the injuries probably caught up with them, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, real quick, do you guys, so say if, the 49ers beat the Eagles round 1, if the Eagles were to play Seattle, do you think it would have been a similar outcome, or do you think the Eagles would have had
they would have gotten their ass kicked?
Yeah, man, Rashid Shaheed, opening kickoff, 95 yards to the house. That was beautiful. Fun fact, that took 10 seconds off the clock, 12 seconds. So Seattle Seahawks scored more points in 12 seconds than the 49ers did all 48 minutes of the game. No, sorry, not 48 minutes, 60 minutes, because I was thinking of NBA, 12-minute quarters. Yeah, 15-minute quarters in the NFL. But yeah, Christian McCaffrey, he had great games all throughout the year. Man, I think there was one time he had 200 all-purpose yards, rushing and receiving combined. This game he had 74 combined yards, 35 rushing, 39 receiving. But yeah, Seattle's defense is amazing. I know we're going to talk about the 49ers here, but yeah, McCaffrey only 11 carries. And when you stop probably the MVP for fantasy football, only holding 11 rushes. Like, yeah, that defense for the Seahawks are doing something good. It's unfortunate. Yeah, Stuart, you mentioned injuries for the 49ers. I think they still had a great I know George Kittle was out this game. I'm not sure if he would have been an X factor at all to losing by 35. But yeah, I still think the 49ers had a good team coming. Well, not a good team, but they still had the pieces. They had Juwan Jennings, they had Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy. So, like, what else could they really use? Obviously, besides a healthy full roster. But yeah, what else? It's just unfortunate they had to play the Seahawks, because I think when we talk about the Seahawks, they might be a team that might be going to the Super Bowl,
Yeah, and
I still like the Rams going to the Super Bowl, but yeah, 49ers. Sorry.
Yeah, it didn't help that they had 3 turnovers. That didn't help that game. They basically was just like Seattle was controlling this game right over here. Like pretty much was a lot better on that in that sense. A lot more third downs. They went for it 3 times on 4th down and they didn't do it. But literally, and also fun fact, 0 red zone for the San Francisco 49ers in this game. In the whole game. Never made it to that 20-yard line.
I mean, I've been saying this for a hot minute, though. I've been thinking Seattle's the best team, and like their defense is otherworldly. I mean, it is surprising because the 49ers look amazing against anybody other than Seattle lately. Like they had the 3-point dud at home, and one of my coworkers who's a huge 49ers fan, I was like, dude, this game's not going to be good. I was like, I like the Bears' chance more than I like the 49ers' chance to win their respective game. And she was just like, no, we got them figured out. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, have you seen that defense? And, like, they just held you to 3 points at home. Like, why would this be any different? And sure as heck didn't look a lot different.
No, it did not. I mean, basically, but I will give credit. I think they did exceed our expectations. I don't think anybody was, like, picking the 49ers to be like, oh my goodness, this is going to be like,
well, I mean, in a world where they don't get hurt to all heck.
Super Bowl contenders or like make it.
Well, in a world where they don't get unbelievably hurt, maybe
like
they do.
It sucks that, they got but they did a lot better than, I mean, I'm happy. I mean, you got to be happy about what they did, the 49ers did. Like I said. Mm-hmm. But the injuries did suck. I mean, I wonder how it would be if they were 100%. Could they be close to the San Francisco game if they were like 100%, not like 65, 75% in this one? And this one, gentleman right over here.
Yeah, unfortunately, injuries are part of
it. Yeah.
Yo.
I will say Chris McCaffrey did a lot better than what we had expectations for last year also. Fun fact. That's my Chris. Do you have any thoughts on the San Francisco 49ers?
Doug had some thoughts.
I think I started and stopped like 6 times there. I mean, there's nothing revolutionary. So you hit on all my points, really. Like, I mean, they would have been fun to see without the injuries. I mean, Fred Warner maybe was going to come back and then didn't. I mean, I think the only surprising part is, I mean, they obviously lost Kittle, which was huge. But, like, you expected a little bit more competitiveness. Like, the Rams are going to go in there and this is going to be a heck of a game, where it was kind of weird to see how dominant the Seahawks have been in, like, a 3-week span over this team. Like, to put up 9 total points across 8 quarters one time in your home building is pretty rough. I mean, you were outscored, 54-9? And, like, that's not a recipe for success.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a tough, like I said, it's tough. What are you supposed to do when it's like you're injured to all hell? Like, there's nothing you can do. It's like, I think they win the Broken Trophy Award. I mean, this is a fun question. Douglas, who is more injured, the 49ers or the Lions last year? Who gets more? Who wins? Because the Lions get the injury bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I think by the end last year, the Lions were so unbelievably thin that it was just like, I do think that last year's Lions was like one of the most wild ones, because it's not like they lost everybody. Like, they didn't have any layer of the defense. It was just a bunch of guys off the street, it felt like.
Oh.
So, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think last year's Lions team was just such a bummer because their offense was so good that it almost did it, but then, a 4-turnover Jared Goff game. And like, that's the thing here. I mean, the thing is, Sam Darnold didn't play particularly great. Like, he played just decent. Like, it looks like it doesn't look like Brock Purdy really did much of anything.
No, I mean, there's only 3 turnovers.
Interception, like.
Yeah, that was the only problem. Was like 3 turnovers, and that was it. Like, I feel like Brock Purdy did like okay. I mean, granted, I think he deserves that big contract right now, but I guess we'll see how San Francisco. It kind of makes me wonder: is Brock Purdy in the future going to be more like the Garoppolo? I think Brock Purdy's at least going to stay for a few more years, in my opinion.
He did sign the contract this past offseason?
Yeah, he did sign a big contract. He got paid $50 million in the offseason.
He's only like 25 years old, too. Like, dude is, like, I mean, he's probably like 27, but, like, he is still so young. Like,
yeah, he is
still.
Yeah, he is set for life. Let's be honest. Brock Purdy is set for life. He is definitely going to get paid a lot.
Well, I was just reading something, and I guess the success rate, even on first-round players, is like 40% or less. And, I mean, they took Trey Lance, obviously, number 4. They just happened to get lucky and also draft whatever it was, 4th or 5th rounder that was their franchise guy. But, like, could you imagine how good this team would be if they used that, top 5 pick for, like, I don't know who was available in that draft, but if they would have drafted that differently and got Brock Purdy for that value, like, what a bummer.
Irrelevant. Look at that. He was Mr. Irrelevant, and he literally won a playoff game and made it to a Super Bowl. So good for him, but we'll see how San Francisco goes for next year. But unfortunately, for the 49ers, there ain't no gold left. It's just all copper and cheap plastic, fortunately. In this one. And now we got 2 down. We got the Houston Texans who, it's interesting because I was listening to, so this is the final podcast we did with Tree, interestingly enough, very much, you were very much optimistic than expected. Although the Texans had some flaws, they had positive, they're going up, they're heading to the right direction. They could be fundamental pieces. It could be week to week. But like I said, you did say the division is not the best. Better structure, clear ideas. And you gave the Texans, actually, in the preseason, actually 6. Douglas was actually a little bit more pessimistic. Actually, you gave him a 5 on the Texans. You were more skeptical. You felt like, the division could be tough. Like I said, everyone could be improving in equal contest, question everything. Right over here. Doug didn't deny improvements, but he didn't think that, they could be up. But you did say no to the postseason right over there.
What, Doug said that they would not make the postseason?
Yeah, they would not make the postseason. You gave him a 5. And
wait, Doug or me? Who?
Oh, Doug gave him a 5, and you gave, I should look right over here. You gave the Texans, I should say, actually, you did give them 11. You did think that they were going to be good, but you did give them a 7, actually.
Wow,
so you gave.
I'm correct on that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so 11-6 for Douglas. Chris gave us 10-7, and Tree was actually 10-7. And he thought, can they improve the defense, the defensive line, and that was their only thing, and they could definitely do good on that one.
Dang, Tree was spot on. I mean, this defensive line for the Texans, we've said it multiple times, and they're the best defense in the league. And that defense with Will Anderson, I don't know who the other guy is, but man, they look good. And well, not looked, but they are good. And there was only one thing that really stuck out in my mind because I saw it the other day is the only person that could keep the Houston Texans defense from reaching the next round and the next round of the NFL playoffs is CJ.
So resume the game. So it's CJ Stroud, right, Christopher?
Yeah, there was I saw online the only person that could prevent the Texans from making it to the next round and the next round of the playoffs that could prevent the Texans defense, the best defense in the league, is CJ Stroud himself. And sure enough, 4 interceptions in this divisional round loss to the Patriots. I mean, going into New England, what a 14-3 record, 6-3 at home in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Obviously, that's gonna be a tough game. But, I mean, if C.J. Stroud wasn't going to be throwing the ball to the opposing team, I think it could have been a way closer game than a 12-point differential.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they were not great in the red zone. They were 1-4 in the red zone compared to the Patriots.
So they were 1-4 in the red zone. Were any of those? I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to the game too strictly. Were any of those? They were 25% in the red zone. Were there any red zone turnovers from Mr. C.J. Stroud?
I think there might have been. I think they made all the 3 field goals because one was a 25-yarder, they got a 10-yarder, and then they got a 25-yarder, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean their defense and everything they could to make it a game, but I mean, 4 interceptions. And, it also stinks. You got to put in the context that Nico Collins was out. Dalton Schultz got hurt, almost in the first, quarter. And so it's those are literally his leading receiver on the year and probably his most productive player. And, the Patriots are a good defense too, man. That, Christian Gonzalez is unbelievable. They fought, but it's kind of like the Lions playoff game last year where it's you just can't overcome 4 turnovers or 5 in the NFL game, no matter how good your defense is.
Yeah, so. Unfortunately, what are you supposed to do when it's you lose a couple of those players? But like I said, I think honestly it just shows that the Patriots were a really good team right now. But now that we got a good question, and I guess I should probably ask this about this. So CJ Stroud has been 3 for 3 on winning playoff games, but 0 making it to the conference championship. What do you do for Stroud, or to get to that hump?
Stroud, he's only in his 3rd year. He's 3 for 3. I don't think you should really change anything. You have the best defense in the league. I don't think that the defense is losing any players or big time key components. So they should have the top defense next year throughout the 2026 season. I would keep it as is. Nico Collins should be back. Christian Kirk, I'm not sure what's going on with him. If he's going to be with the team, I know he's getting up there in age. But, man, I know with Nico Collins out last week or where he got injured during the game, but Christian Kirk really showed up. Okay, not this past week's game, not against the Patriots, but the previous, the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, Christian Kirk had a heck of a game. I wouldn't change anything for the Texans. Yeah, CJ Stroud, he's 24 years young. So unless he goes 4 for 4 making the playoffs, winning the first round, and then losing in the divisional round, maybe try to change things up after next year. But if I'm a Houston Texans fan, maybe it's just me because I'm a Browns fan and we just want a playoff appearance, more than once in a decade. If I'm a Texans fan, I'd be pretty happy with what's going on with the.
It's been successful Texans. It's been back to back to back to back. I'm trying to think. It's been a while since I've seen that. They sometimes have a blip and then it's just straight to dog shit. I feel in the Texans since they're now the Houston Texans now. I'm still salty that they're not the Oilers. They're the Oilers in my heart. I'm just saying. Screw you, Bud Adams. I know that man's dead, but any older Houstonian would think kind words like backstabber, liar, piece of shit, and I hope I piss in that man's grave.
Okay, all right. Some choice words.
You sold the team and you moved it out of Houston to the Tennessee Titans. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not wrong.
Yes, dude.
The Brown Art Modell took the Browns from Cleveland to Baltimore. I'm not all pissy and moody about it. I don't care. We're the Cleveland Browns, and now we come back starting in 1999. So we've been in Cleveland almost 30 years. It's something that happens in life. You just got to move forward from it.
Yeah. But look at that. I always remember when we were in Chetton, Mass in Sandusky, Ohio, and they always have that one thing where it's a good raven is a dead raven, and it's Art Modell.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I really look forward to watching the St. Louis Rams play today.
The St. Louis Rams.
Was it the St. Louis Rams versus the Tennessee Titans in the World Super Bowl?
Probably was, yeah, early 2000s.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. It was that was the game when the Tennessee Titans were trying to go for that long, they tried to get that touchdown, but he couldn't reach.
He missed it by 1 yard.
Yeah, it was he was trying to go for it, and then he just couldn't do it, and then they lost the game because of that.
Well, I guess you could blame the ownership for moving the team from Houston to Tennessee. And that's a direct correlation of them not winning the Super Bowl.
Let's say this. At least Tennessee never won a Super Bowl, so they can be happy. Unlike the Ravens, where they won 2 Super Bowls. And the Browns haven't done shit since they came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I only have one more thought on the Texans. They're still the only team that's never made a conference championship game. So maybe next year CJ will get you over the hump.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting. Yeah, they are the only team that's left. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about it. They're the only team that's left. In the modern, granted, you did have the Oilers in the 90s, but it's just it's a different team. You know what I mean? 92. don't get me started about that embarrassing one where they were up 35-0 in the first half and lost that game with a backup quarterback from the Buffalo Bills. Mind you that. People remember that game called the choke.
The choke.
It is the choke. But I feel like, I think probably C.J. Stroud's going to get a good contract probably the end of this year. I think his rookie contract is probably going to be up, if I'm thinking.
Yeah, because rookie contracts are typical 3 years, right? And this is his third year.
Yeah, so this is probably going to be – so he's probably going to get paid at least a decent amount. That's going to be a good question. What are you going to do for Texans? I mean –
the other Texans get the 1 seed, so CJ doesn't have to play in the snow. The dude sucks in the snow.
Yeah, unfortunately, he cannot play in the
Sucks
snow.
in New England. He sucked in Ann Arbor in the snow. Dude just doesn't know how to get down the snow.
How you? How? You know what? We beat you guys in the goddamn snow this year. You know what? And then I remember
Julian Sands, the truth.
I remember all you Michigan people, like, random tangent. I remember all you Michigan people like, oh, Ohio State can't handle the snow. And I was like, you didn't know we just like play football. And then it's like, oh no, we have flakes. We can't play football. It's flakes.
Well, here's the beauty of the NFL. You have players drafted from all walks of the United States, different colleges, all the way from Massachusetts to Hawaii, from West Coast to East Coast. And what's beautiful about the Houston Texans is you have an Ohio State quarterback, well, not this past week because he was injured, throwing to a Michigan wide receiver, Nico Collins. So, man, what a beautiful poetry right there.
Poetry
now, as long as
so
they
weird.
get their next year and make the AFC Championship game, man, they'll be beautiful.
You probably need a Penn State Nittany Lion or maybe an Indiana Hoosier to get him over the hump.
Maybe.
I'm not sure what kind of who from Indiana would really help though.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Are there any elite receivers going to the NFL? I don't know.
I know they have a couple good offensive linemen, but
yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting.
Maybe that's what the Texans need: an offensive lineman. If Stroud's thrown for 4 interceptions in a divisional round game,
he had no time to throw either.
So maybe they could use a Hoosier lineman.
Yeah, I think he might need some linemen just to protect it. But fortunately for the Texans, there is no oil left in Houston.
But there are Texans left in Houston.
There are Texans left in Houston, but there are no Oilers left.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Indeed. And now we got the final game right over here. The final team, the Chicago Bears. Another overtime. It was great, but they did lose 17-20. Interestingly enough, I think they exceeded our expectations. We were very, very pessimistic on the Chicago Bears. We actually thought there could be we were very optimistic, but we thought there would be improvements, but we didn't think that this team was going to do well. Other Chris was actually gave him a 5. I gave him a 5, and Douglas actually gave him a 4. Interestingly enough, and Douglas said didn't, but Chris was actually could not be the strong. I actually thought that he was a little bit more pessimistic and thought that he was skeptical. Actually, interestingly enough, Douglas, you said that Ben Johnson was, not the reason why the Lions did as well, and you thought it was more Dan Campbell. Interestingly enough, in that hot game.
Might have been a bias take, Stu. Who knows?
Might have been a bias take. Would you agree with that take now?
Possibly. I think it's too early to give a full description of that because Ben Johnson got an easy schedule. He got a last place schedule. He got a number 1 overall pick. He got a team with a bunch of wide receivers. They made nice trades for offensive linemen. They did a good job setting up the roster, but there's a reason that he didn't become a head coach the year before. He thought about being a head coach 2 years ago, but he was going to wait for the perfect situation. And so I think part of it, too, is he was doing a lot of homework on what would be the most ideal situation that he could walk into and be competitive. And for that reason, great job. You came to a team with a high-end, starting quarterback, a lot of good pieces. And, the future's bright. And we'll see what the Lions do next year. Because, the Lions, they were only 1 game out of the playoffs, and they beat the Bears twice this year. So, if they would have just won 1 more of those weird games in there, they're still a playoff team. And they were playing a ridiculously hard schedule this year. So it's and we were super injured and got super thin on, the offensive line. This isn't about the Lions. but I don't fully. It's too early to tell on that takes too.
Yeah, but it's interesting because, like I said, so both me and Douglas gave him 5s, and other Chris gave him a 4. Interestingly enough, but they exceeded our expectations. To be fair, they exceeded our expectations. They actually did. We gave him 9 and 8s. Other Chris gave him an 8 and 9, and they did pretty damn well this season. Honestly, they won the division 11 and 6. Nobody expected. I don't think anybody, including Bears fans, would have picked them to win the division.
Well, I mean, they were the only team last year in the division not to make the playoffs. So it's like it is a surprise.
It went reverse. I feel like it's like an Uno reverse. It was like all the teams that were at the top were at the bottom, and then it like flipped. Besides maybe the Lions.
I hope this NFC North division stays where it's at, with the competitiveness. Because besides the NFC West, and we all know this, besides the NFC West, I think the NFC North is like the toughest division in the NFL.
I mean, all 4 teams have a reason to think they can make the playoffs next year.
That's a good question. Who's more tougher, the West or the North? On like the sense of like who is the toughest?
I mean, I think it has to be the West. I mean, you got the 2 teams in the NFC Championship game. You have the 49ers, who had a better record than the Bears. So it's like if the Niners were in the North with that record, they would have been the division champs. But instead, they finished 3rd.
Yeah, you had all 3 teams who made the playoffs from the West in the divisional round, which means they all made it past the first round of the playoffs from the West. But competitive-wise, we're going to include all 4 teams. Then we're going to go the NFC North because all 4 teams from the NFC North, like Doug said, all 4 teams could make the playoffs next year. You never know. From the NFC West, I think I'd be comfortable to say 3 out of the 4 teams are looking like playoff teams, which they are currently, or well, not anymore.
Dude, that's what's so crazy is that the entire playoffs, if you just use the NFC West and North, you would have probably arguably the 7 best teams. No disrespect, a little bit of disrespect to the Eagles and Cowboys. But you could easily make a case that the 7 best teams almost could be next year in the North and West. We'll see what the Eagles do. If they trade A.J. Brown and the Cowboys don't get better, and I mean, who's there in the South? I mean, cool, you have the Panthers. It's like I would take any of the North over anybody in the South right now.
Yeah, I guess it'll be interesting. Like I always feel like for Chicago, like I will say this, Chris. Last year, you said one word to Caleb Williams.
Or you said, was it bust? Or what was the word?
You said bust.
Bust. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was last year when they were 5-12. Now they kind of reversed it, and now, not reversed it, but they're 11-6 this year. And I was about to say I can't wait to talk about the Bears or the NFC North for the preview for next season because I only have great things to say about Caleb Williams. I mean, the way he threw that game tying touchdown to was it Loveland, I do believe. That doesn't matter. The way he scrambled out of the pocket. He went to his right and came back to his left, threw the ball to the corner of the end zone. Like, yeah, Caleb Williams is a good player.
He's solid. I mean, you would just like to see I'd feel so much differently about him if he could have done a game-winning drive there in overtime. Like, I don't know what it was, but just that interception was just like you're on the field, you're so close to field goal range, and then you're just out there chucking. It's like, oh, Caleb, no. Like, just run it anything else, man. Like, that was the one thing you couldn't do. And, granted, the future's bright, but there was a few of those plays where it's like I didn't think they won games because of him this year. Like, he was a good quarterback. But, I don't know. I don't think he's in the top 10 yet by any means or anything like that. Like, he's a above-average quarterback for sure.
And also, we should have a good question. We got to talk about Ben Johnson. Successful year. Mm-hmm. Who do you think? Now we got Mike Rabel, Coach of the Year. That could be there. You have Ben Johnson, been playing good. Who do you think deserves Coach of the Year, in your opinion?
Mike Rabel.
For me, it's between Mike McDonald and Mike Vrabel at the moment. Wow. I think Mike McDonald has to get more. I feel like he's gone under the radar, and he's sitting there with arguably the best team. I think that they're the best team in the NFL this year, and I didn't think they'd even make the playoffs at the start of the year. I know it's pessimistic. Granted, the Patriots way overachieved too, so that's an easy, case there too. But
yeah, it's gonna be fun because I think I gave the Patriots a 2. and ink on my face.
Yeah, I mean, that one's an all-timer. It's hard to say, man. I mean, you could make a case for Ben Johnson, Kyle Shanahan still, but, like, if it was like if you're including the playoffs, it's hard to overlook 41-6 after getting the first round bye.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
that's impressive, and I will say that. But Chicago,
if Mike McDonald and the Seahawks can beat the Rams, I know it's home field advantage, home of the 12th man over there in Seattle. And if they could beat the Rams, and they have, like we mentioned earlier, we've been talking about the Rams and Seahawks all season. Whereas Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots, no slight to Mr. Jarrett Stidham, the acting starting quarterback for the Broncos right now. But it's a home game for the Patriots. No, it's not. Just kidding. It's a home game for the Broncos. But yeah, when you have a backup quarterback being the starter in the AFC Championship game, the Patriots have a little slight of an advantage. Whereas the Seahawks, if they can beat the Rams, maybe win the Super Bowl. Yeah, maybe McDowell could surpass Vrabel for Coach of the Year.
Do you gentlemen, would you agree with this take? Whoever wins this NFC Championship game will win the Super Bowl.
That was a question I actually thought about. Like, who's gonna win the Super Bowl? Is it gonna be from the AFC or the NFC?
I right now,
based on what I'm seeing from the Patriots and the Broncos, I would steer like my direction is telling me that the Super Bowl champion is gonna be from the NFC. See, I agree with that statement.
I think I kind of agree with you. I think it's gonna be the NFC. Now, granted, maybe the Patriots can finally get that hop, or maybe maybe there's a miracle on hell and the Broncos somehow like. They got the backup, and he's like a superstar. He's like the Tom Brady of like that would be kind of hilarious. In like a thing, it's like your backup and he's the next Brady.
And that would be fun. I think the interesting thing about this year too is like how good the defenses are, because it's like the Broncos could win just because of their defense. I mean, the Patriots are great, but it's like Stidham might not have to do very much. It's like just because we keep saying the Texans have the best defense, but the Broncos and the Seahawks would probably argue with you. The way the Patriots played this weekend, they might argue with you too. Like they were lights out, making Stroud look terrible. It's like the defenses are unbelievable this year. It feels like in the playoffs, at least the teams that are left.
Yeah, but I think it would be. But back to the Bears. The Bears. The Bears probably. Ooh. Yeah, well, I wouldn't put the highest achievement because you probably say the Patriots, but definitely number 2 is going to definitely be the Bears. Like they definitely exceeded expectations. I think there's definitely a bright future for the Bears, and Caleb Williams is definitely looking like a good like an elite. He definitely has shown why he was picked 2 years ago, the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, the future's bright. I think the fun thing about the NFL is their scheduling, where if you're in last, you get the easiest schedule too. Because, that definitely, with all due respect, benefited the Bears and the Patriots both. But they're still proving that, it wasn't just the schedule. Like, they're both obviously very legit teams.
Yeah. Yeah, and I probably would say that. Like, they won a playoff game. If you're a Bears, you'd be like, you know what? We had a soft schedule, but we won a playoff game. We're the Patriots. We beat the Texans with a great defense.
Mm-hmm. Well,
we made Stroud's a life.
The Bears took the Rams to overtime.
Yeah.
They took the Rams to overtime. So, they easily could be sitting here in the NFC Championship game if Caleb just, instead of throwing that interception, if he makes a different play, something bounces different. That's what's crazy is they're just a play or 2 away from NFC Championship.
Yeah, they're play 2 away, and unfortunately, they just couldn't do it at the end. And that interception does suck. But maybe there might be optimism. No low cal video for the Bears, and maybe a high cal video for the Bears. Improvements. And unfortunately for Chicago, there's no more. They run out of berries for the Bears. No more berries or fruits for you. Anyway, now we got our conference champions. It is going to be interesting. We got the New England Patriots. The evil empire is back. I thought we killed them. I thought we got rid of them.
Are you saying the evil empire because of Tom Brady from Michigan, since you're an Ohio State fan, or are you saying because of Bill Belichick?
Both.
Ooh, see, I respect Tom Brady. Just because.
It's out of respect, but it's enjoyable to see the Patriots just be absolute dominant and make it to Super Bowls like 3 years in a row.
Yeah, kind of. I don't want to say boring, but almost.
I think it was like 5
almost like the Chiefs. You get tired of the Chiefs dynasty. You get tired of the Patriots dynasty, but just the way the NFL is switching things up now, I think we're not going to see any dynasties in the next 5 years, and I'm all here for the ride. I mean, we'll see Caleb Williams back in the playoffs. We'll see C.J. Stroud back in the playoffs. Drake May and the Patriots, as long as they don't get I want to call it a cupcake schedule. We'll see. We should see the Patriots back in the playoffs next year. I don't think we're going to see a dynasty. Which, like I said, I'm excited for it. I'm excited.
How would you feel
the diversity?
Yeah, how funny would it be like, oh, there's going to be no dynasty, and then 5 years later, it's going to be like Drake May, the next Tom Brady, wins 3 rings.
I mean, if it's Drake May and Mike Vrabel, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, that if they're a good coaching quarterback duo, keep it going. Whatever works for your team.
We have nice things. Why can't we live in a world where the Patriots? Can I just have the Patriots just suck for 10 years?
I mean, when's the last time that they actually won? Like 2019?
Yeah.
The 18 season. Yeah, 2018, 2019.
7 years. Don't be greedy.
Yeah, that's close to a decade, Stu.
But still, I
guess if you're looking at it from the Lions, Patriot, or Cowboys or Browns perspective, it is a very short stint.
Yeah, that's a short stint. I mean, but I will say this: they're against the Broncos. It's a backup. I got to give this team a 9. I think this team is going to the Super Bowl. I think this team will go to the Super Bowl. I don't know if this game is going to be good or close. I don't even think it's going to be a good game. I think the Patriots are going to go to the Super Bowl, and I don't know how I'm going to feel when I do the contender series on the Patriots.
I mean, I'm going to give them a 9 if I'm up next. I'll give them a 9. I mean, the Patriots, they beat the Chargers by 13, and they beat the Texans by 12. So I'm expecting another double-digit win. I think it might be closer to like 16 or 17 points. The Patriots. Yeah, sorry, Jared Stidham. Sorry, Broncos Nation. That ride might be over, so we're not going to ride for the Broncos. It's going to be a patriotic win for the New England Patriots.
I mean, I feel like I'm the only one that's thinking that the Broncos have a chance here.
Wow.
No,
Are we about to do another $5 bet here, Doug?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'll do a $5
I can tell you're
bet.
kind of on the fence, though.
I mean, I'm on the fence because, I mean, we saw how much New England's defense disrupted, C.J. Stroud. But that was at home, C.J. didn't have his top 2 targets, but Jared Stidham's played 5 career games. So,
yeah, that's the only problem. It's like Jared Stidham is like, how are you going to I feel bad for the guy. I mean, granted, it sucks.
You don't have J.K. Dobbins. Granted, you've been a decent running team, but a lot of their success was, based on Bo Nix being able to improvise, get outside the pocket. And I doubt that Stidham's going to be the most mobile, throw on the run type of guy. So hopefully the Broncos have a game plan, but I'll give the Patriots a 9. I think because Drake May is the better quarterback, and they have a elite defense, and I think they'll get it done.
I mean, it's kind of like what happened when Patrick Mahomes got hurt, and then it was like, we got the backups. I mean, granted, their season was done, but it was like, it doesn't look good. It looks like dog shit. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I think the Patriots can probably do this. Will this be a good game? Yes or no? Chris? I'm going to say no.
Good meaning a close game? I mean, because we talked about this earlier. When I think of a good game, I think of a high-scoring game. I know Doug, when we brought that up, I think it was 6 or 7 podcasts ago, Doug said he likes a good defensive game.
I like close games.
I said that the Patriots are going to win by 16 or 17 points. So to answer the question, I'm more looking forward to the Seahawks-Rams game. So I don't think this is going to be as good of a game as that game in Seattle.
Will it be a blowout, I should say?
I think it'll be closer than a lot of people expect. I would consider taking the Broncos for 6-ish points.
It's interesting.
I think their defense and home field advantage will give the Patriots some issues. I mean, the Patriots, they played okay, but they didn't They didn't do anything special on offense either. Like, let's not act like they were like world beaters out there. Like the Houston defense shut them down. Their offense gave the Patriots short field after short field after short field. And like if Stidham just takes care of the ball, like and lets the defense and they play like a field position game, then like you can't just automatically say the Patriots are going to put up a bunch of points. I mean, they only scored a ton because freaking 4 interceptions, a lot of them in like really short fields and wore out the defense.
Yeah, and one of those interceptions resulted in a pick 6. So that's 7 points right there out of 28. Drake May only had 179 passing yards. I mean, so they got the job done, but it wasn't really heavy presence on the offense getting the job done. I mean,
you're still expecting like a year 2 starter to go into an elite defense's team that was the number 1 seed. It's not like it's just an automatic win for the Patriots or like the Patriots are – the great. They're not. This isn't Tom Brady going into Denver and against Jarrett Stidham. This is still Drake May, who's making the 2nd career playoff start. So,
yeah, I mean that's gonna be the tough one right here. We're gonna see how this goes, but we'll see. We'll see if maybe there might be some hope. But all right, we're all gonna give them 8s. But is there any hope for the Broncos?
I just said how,
Yeah, I think we kind of wrapped it up when we talked about the Patriots. Yeah, Broncos.
Positive things.
I mean, even when Bo Nix was in there and I was watching that game a little bit against the Bills, PJ Harvey, I know he's a rookie running back, and they had McLaughlin in there as well. I don't think that Jarrett Stidham could do it. And the way they were using PJ Harvey, they're using him on screens, which didn't turn out too well. So yeah, they'll like Stidham will have to have. Obviously, the Broncos defense will need to show up. They'll have to have Cortland Sutton show up. I don't think he had his first catch till late in the second quarter on this past. That was on Saturday. So yeah, and then like if PJ Harvey could have a great game, which doesn't really happen too often, yeah, maybe the Broncos could pull it out. I know Doug said that the Patriots might win by 6. I said 16 or 17.
I'm going 16-17. I don't think it's going to be a good game. I think 3 o'clock. We're probably watching this game 4 or 5 o'clock. We're just like, all right, this game's a blowout.
Yeah, hopefully it's not. I mean,
that's not good.
We have the best 2 teams in the AFC. I know Bo Nix was the leader of the pack for the entire season, but hopefully with the best 2 teams in the AFC, hopefully we'll have they deserve to be there. So hopefully we'll have a good hard fought battle. But yeah, I don't see the Broncos making it to the Super Bowl.
No, I don't think so.
Stops here.
I think 2 weeks we're going to do the eulogy for the Broncos. Unfortunately, the Power Christian music, and they did not ride. Let's ride. Unfortunately for Mr. Denver Broncos right over here. So we got one game. That's one good game. Now we got the LA Rams. They're going to play against the Seattle Seahawks. First time in a while since LA's made it to the championship. Last time they made it to the conference championship. They made it to the Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl. It's been almost 4 years. It's kind of crazy to think about that.
You said it was like such a long time ago, 4 years.
Yeah.
I feel that's pretty close.
I mean, this is the most recent team that has made it to the conference championship, interestingly enough. So let's start with you, Douglas. Do you think the Rams have a shot at beating the Seattle Seahawks?
Oh, I mean, they absolutely have a shot. I mean, these were 2 of the best games, I think, of the season, both the times that these teams played, if I'm not mistaken. Like, was this the epic comeback one? Like,
they were ahead by 16 and blew that game.
I was just saying like that, and that's what I said at the time too, might be the difference. I remember kind of saying too, whoever won that game, I think it might have been a Thursday night game. I was like, it's going to probably be the 1 seed, which will ultimately be the team that I give the 9 because they have home field advantage in the playoffs. And look at where we are now. We're sitting right here with these 2 teams playing in Seattle because the Seahawks won that game, home field advantage. And it's really, really hard to pick against Seattle the way that they're playing right now. And I mean, I think if there's a team that can beat them, I mean, I think the Rams are probably the 2nd best team in the NFL. But they've shown a lot of signs of weakness lately. I think if you just look at how the teams are playing at this moment, I think the Seahawks are clearly the better team with all due respect to the Rams. But, I mean, they just lost to the Panthers a couple weeks ago. They almost lost in the first game of the playoffs to the Panthers. They went to overtime with the Bears. They lost to the Falcons. Like, this isn't a hot team right now. This is a team that's kind of been scraping by. But they also have won 2 playoff games. So, I mean, they got some momentum going, and I mean, maybe the late game heroics will be good for them. But I mean, I'm going to go with the 8. Like, I think it's more about how dominant Seattle looks. Not that they can't. It's hard to pick against the 12th man the way they're playing right now.
They're playing amazing. Honestly, I mean, granted, good for the Rams to make it this far again. I mean, it feels like it's been like, even though it feels like it's been forevers, but it's only been like 4 years. I don't think they can beat Seattle. I think honestly that Thursday night football game where they went to overtime and lost that one and gave up 16 points. I believe that was at LA, if I remember correctly, that game.
No, I think it was in Seattle.
It was in Seattle, sorry. Oh yeah, it was in Seattle.
The one in LA though was a really good one too, where the Seahawks almost came back from that. Darnold had a bad game, but they lost by 2 points at the end and had a chance to win that one too. Like, both the games they played were awesome.
So I think for right now, it's just this, who's looking better right now? Who's looking dominant? I always think about it. It's like domination. It's like in college football when we talked about it. And I know we'll probably talk about it this week with the Indiana-Miami game. But one team is just dominant, and the other one's just barely squeaking by. Seattle has been dominant right now. The Rams, been good, but they've been kind of squeaking by. So I'm thinking I'm going to pick the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to give them the 8.
Gentlemen, question for you. If you had to pick Puka Nacua or JSN, who's the receiver that you would rather have on your squad?
Oh,
I would go Puka Nacua. I can't think of the Rams head coach, McVay.
Yeah.
I read a little article the other day that he always, I won't say always, because there are some faults. I mean, Nacua had, I think, 56 yards this game against the Bears. But for the most part, McVay knows how to use Nacua. He knows how to, watch the film against the defense that they will be playing. Whether it's a screen or whether it's a deep ball. And Nacua, man, I'm not sure what his vertical jump is, but that guy can get high. He can get the ball up there. So any wide receiver against Nacua, I'd probably pick Nacua. Because against any cornerback or any safety, and you throw the ball up in the air, Nacua is probably going to come down with the ball unless he's getting double teamed. So yeah, I know we're maybe going on a fancy subjective right there. I'd say Puka Nacua should go number 1 overall for fantasy football.
I feel like JSN's like maybe even second though. Like
100%. I think they finished yard wise. I think like total yards in this past season. I think they finished within like 20 yards of each other, and they each had over 1,000 yards receiving. It was.
I was saying, I think too, like just as best wide receivers. I mean, I think they might be the best 2 wide receivers in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I think both teams. I will say it. Both teams are looking good. I don't see a blowout. I think it's going to be a close game. I think this is going to be a fun 6:00 game. But I just think Seattle got it.
Yeah, we're talking about. You guys mentioned complete teams. The team from the Indiana Hoosiers won 16-0 last night, defeating the Miami Hurricanes 24-14. They had a defensive touchdown, and the Seahawks this past Saturday, or was it a Sunday game? Doesn't matter. They had a special teams touchdown, which I guess counts as defense. So when you have a team that could score on both sides of the ball defensively, also includes special teams on the defense and offensively, that's a complete team right there in my point of view. So yeah, give me the Rams an 8. As much as I'd love to see them win, when you go into Seattle, like we mentioned, the 12th man, that crowd is nuts. They're loud, and they come out to support the Seahawks in good fashion. So it's gonna be tough for the Rams. If the Seahawks can jump out, another touchdown within the first 12 seconds, that'd be cool. But I expect this game to be a little high scoring. Right now, the over under 47.5. I would probably take the over on that. But yeah, I expect it to be high scoring, and that's my kind of fun game, is a high scoring game. But I see the Seahawks coming out on top. Oh man, I wish Matt Stafford could pull it off, because he's potentially an MVP candidate. Well, not potentially. He's an MVP candidate. He might walk away with the regular season MVP. I hope he can do it, but hopefully they get Nacua going. And it's awesome. Yeah, it's great that we're going to see JSN versus Nacua in this game. Yeah, I think the Hawks got it.
I think honestly this is gonna be a fun one. And now we got the Seattle. I'm trying to think. What is the way the Seattle could lose this game? I'm just trying to think. What would be like a scenario? You're the Rams. How do we make Seattle lose this game?
Well, one, you have to stop the running game. I mean, I know it was a blowout, so maybe the 49ers didn't have the best run defense. But Kenneth Walker, he had 3 touchdowns last game. I know Zach Charbonnet, he went out with what is a concussion? I know he got injured in the second quarter and he didn't come back. I assume he's going to suit up for this NFC Championship game. And yeah, you got Zach Charbonnet, you have Kenneth Walker. I'd probably say a top 5 duo for running back in the NFL because Kenneth Walker, he's quick, and then Charbonnet, he's strong. He's a power guy that they send in on like first and goal from the 1, second and goal from the 1, whatever.
Charbonnet's out for this game, so that's a fun little tidbit.
Okay, so maybe that could be the answer right now, right there for the Rams winning this game.
I mean, I think the biggest answer is also pretty clearly if Sam Darnold protects the ball. I mean, he has those games where he just, last year when he played the Rams in the playoffs, he got obliterated. He was same thing, 14-3 team playing against the Rams. Absolutely destroyed. I think he was sacked a bunch, turned it over a lot.
Yeah.
So Darnold is just an average level quarterback. I think the Seahawks win, but if the Rams speed him up, get turnovers, and sack him, the Rams won the first game and they were up 16 in the second game. It's not like it's impossible to see.
Yeah, I definitely feel like if you just put them under pressure, Sam Darnold's not the greatest. And I feel like if you're Seattle, make sure that offensive line is good.
Yeah, if you're Seattle, you want it to be a blowout because you don't want there be too much pressure, like a silly play happen or a strip sack by Jared Verse and Sam Darnold or something dumb. You just want to control the game. You're good. Just don't let Sam Darnold.
Yeah, don't let
Sam Darnold only threw for 124 yards this past game, but also maybe he didn't need to throw for that many yards because they're all up by so many points. Yeah, I like what you guys nailed on the head. If they get Sam Darnold all riled up and he struggles, then yeah, maybe the Rams can pull it off.
Maybe they can do it, but I think it's going to be a good one. Honestly, I think this is going to be my favorite game of the week, and I'm so excited for this one. This 6 o'clock game, I am ready. I'm going to be like.
It feels like the 2 best teams in the NFL. That's what's fun about it. It's this feels like the Super Bowl to me.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice if this one was on a neutral field almost too, because we got one home, one in each stadium, and they both defended home turf. So
have it in Francisco.
Exactly. Let's go out to the I guess not the Rose Bowl because that's in LA. Let's go to freaking Nebraska, somewhere.
Yes, North Dakota State or something like that.
Yeah.
Iowa. Go to Boise.
Come to Detroit so we can experience a playoff game this year.
The good thing is San Francisco. It's definitely a few hundred miles, but if the 49er fans are loyal, they should make that trip up the West Coast, up to Seattle. So it's not that too far of a travel, but yeah, when you got the home of the 12th man, might be a different story.
Yeah, this one could come down to home field advantage.
It's going to be coming home in this one, so this is going to be a fun game right here, indeed. And look at this, gentlemen. We are done with the conference championship. Gentlemen, are you ready for these football games? The final 2 weeks.
So yeah, we're saying Patriots and Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So this is gonna be the interesting part, gentlemen. Next week, we are not going to do a recap of those games. We are going to do their series. We're going to talk about the 2 teams that made it to the Super Bowl, recap their season, and talk about who we think, what's their weaknesses, what's their pros. It's going to be a long, fun one. This is honestly my favorite part.
Long one.
It's going to be a long one. It's going to be 2 hours. Hopefully. We'll see.
I will dip out after an hour and a half if we're really going 2 hours.
I got a 7 a.m. flight next Wednesday, so I might also be.
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't know if we'll do it on a Wednesday. I will see. Maybe it might be Thursday.
No, we're gonna do it on Tuesday because Doug's leaving on Wednesday to go skiing in Idaho. So we're gonna do this on Tuesday.
God, I got it. Oh, that's gonna be fun. I might have to skip everything and just go do hours of just doing all that shit.
Get trolly
right here. So that's gonna be it. And I guess sometime this week we're gonna do the National championship recap right over here between Indiana and Miami. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Miami's eulogy. Indiana finally winning the first national championship. So we'll probably talk about that. Probably a quick podcast. So as always, gentlemen, do you have any final thoughts before we go?
Nope.
Go Rams, even though I can see the Seahawks doing it. That's the only final thought I got for you.
Yeah. I'll see how this one goes right over here, gentlemen. But anyway, I'm going to catch you later, Mr. Gator. So as always, take care. And as always, bye-bye.